Hey guys, welcome to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan. Is my zipper up? Thank God. Man, that would have been bad. I'd filmed like 15 intros and my zipper would have been down. My could have been hanging out there. Oh, Peanut, you're in the bottom of the shot.
Oh, yeah, dude. I just wanted to be in the bottom of a shot.
Peanut, you need to gain some weight. You're too skinny. You're too skinny. I can feel your ribs.
I like being thin. I'm not like you fat ass.
All right, I forgot where I was. In this video, I will be prepping this window opening. I've got to do some work to these pieces of wood to accept this window. So I'm doing a window on the top section here. Now, I left the groove on the side pieces and the bottom piece. This top one, I've already cut it off, which I think I did in maybe part 2, possibly. So the window needs to slide in here, and then I'm going to install these pieces that'll hold the window down into the frame. So I need to remove these side rails right here. I'm going to leave the bottom one on because the bottom one will help. I'll stick the window in there and then it'll slide down in here and those stops will hold it in. Now I got a router set and I got a flush router bit so that it would ride on that inside rail and trim this off. I had a little bit of burning and tear out right here. I did a test and I wasn't really happy with it. My original plan was to use the table saw to make this cut, and I think I'm going to stick with that idea and make these cuts so I can get a nice smooth edge on the inside here and it won't take much work. To make this groove in this vertical piece, there's a lot of things I got to set up before I can start doing that. First thing I needed to do was set my blade, and since I had already routed out this piece, I could set the blade with this board right here because it goes all the way to the depth. I could have rested on the outside and eyed it in, but that's good. And I checked to make sure that the top's not running on the blade. After I set my blade height, I needed to figure out where my fence needed to go. And so I just measured this right here, and it was, what was it, 4 5/8, a little bit strong. So this isn't the highest quality table saw you can buy. I mean, it's not the lowest end, but it's definitely not the high end. So generally the fences on these things aren't running too pretty. They don't slide perfect and they're just not very good. So I always like to check the front of my blade and the back of the blade. So I'm just going to sight down on a tooth and make sure it's perfect there. And then I'll bring it to the back side of the blade and I'll check it with another tooth. So now my rip is good, my height is good. Now since I have marks on this board that I need to know where to stop it, I need to make reference points on the saw as well. So what I did was take my speed square and I bring it up while slowly spinning the blade. I bring it up until it hits, and I bring it back just a hair, and I want it, if you can hear right there, I want the teeth to be just touching it, and then I'm just going to drop it back about a 1/16 of an inch, and I'm going to put a pencil mark right there. And I also need a stopping point on the back side, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring my speed square up to the blade until it hits, bring it back just a hair, and put a mark right there. So these represent my 2 points that I need to keep in mind. Don't pay attention to that huge black line, that's nothing. So this is the piece I need to rip off. So when I had my horizontal pieces in here, I took my knife and I put a reference point on this point right here. The writing speed apparently is slow on my SD card. So from that mark, I want to move in about 1/8 inch into the window on all those points. So right here is that other point. I'm just going to come in, you know what, I'm going to go about 3/16 of an inch in. So this point I made right here represents this stopping point right here. And then the mark on the other side, basically right here, represents this back stopping point. Don't f up. I'll tell you what, this is expensive work you're doing right here. So I'm going to start with this piece. I'm going to make sure the blade's all the way down in. I'm going to put this back mark just a little bit shy of that line. I'm going to turn the saw on, bring the blade up into it. Oh, you almost f***ed up royally. You almost saw another amazingly catastrophic. It would have been the end of the piece. Thank God I looked. You know how hard it is to watch when I make mistakes in my videos? It's the hardest thing to watch in the world. So I'm going to start out with my blade all the way down on this piece, and I'm going to rest this in where it's got to go. I know this fence is good. I'm going to put the mark I have on the board and the mark I have on the fence just a hair off. I know I need to bring the board back this way just a little bit, but I'd rather chisel up to it than risk damaging the lower section. And I hope that's in the right spot. God can only hope, right?
And we pray.
Peanut, what are you, a priest?
Yes, my sermon should start just in seconds.
I'm going to turn the blade on. I'm going to bring it up till it's just shy of this top piece. So you can see here's my pencil mark. This is the knife mark, which is what I want to work up towards. And my saw came just shy of the pencil mark, so I know I didn't overshoot. So now I'm just going to take my chisel and whatever else I got to make this notch right here. I'm going to have to use my chisels to clean that bottom cut up right here, as well as up top too. But that's all right. So now I can do my other piece. What are you looking at?
I was looking for them like mouses or snakes. I like snakes. I like ones with like diamonds and then rattles. Those are ones that are cool. They're fun to play with. It's like squeaky toys. I love them. But I cannot find ones. I will look patiently. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting. I'm hunting for... Wait, what was I hunting for? I forget. Oh yes, mice and snakes. And I would be okay with a porcupine too. That would be fun too.
So I got that cut in the piece, and I have my mark right here, which represents where it needs to go to. Now, I could take a chisel and cut down to here, but what I'm going to do, which I know you purists are going to have a really hard time with, is I'm going to use a right angle grinder with a metal cutting disc. I know it's going to burn the crap out of the wood, but I'm going to keep it almost 3/16 away from the end, so the burn, I'll be able to cut the burn out with a chisel. Now I got that cut in it, and I also made the cut on the other side. Now I'm just going to take a chisel. I'm going to go to the top of that kerf mark that I had. I'm going to go straight in and pop it off. Now I can work down to it. The reason I went to the top of the blade is that it could have chipped. If I would have went to the bottom of the blade, you can kind of see right here how it chipped down. So if I would have went to the bottom, it could have taken out right there. So now I can work up to where it needs to go. About a 1/16 away from my mark. Bam, doesn't look too bad. I'll just clean this up. It ain't big enough.
That's what she said.
Peanut, the penis jokes are not funny anymore.
All right, Dick.
Now I'm just gonna go back and clean this up. Oh, you're not even in the shot anymore. I'm sorry, but that came out pretty damn good. A little off right here, but you will barely notice it. Unless you can really notice it on camera. I can see something, it's the lighting. So now that I've got it all cleaned up, I just need to bring this back to the correct point. I'm just gonna take my speed square. I'm gonna put it right on my knife wall right there that I have. Just cut down. Not the prettiest, but it'll work. Oh man, I just swallowed a bug. I thought that was the end of me. I thought I was dead.
Excuse me, that is copyrighted music playing in the background. I'm flagging this video as copyrighted.
These are all done. I can start doing the chamfering, which makes me so nervous. You like top 20 nerve right here. That's a whole nother setup. All right guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave your questions and comments down below. Give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. Share the video to your favorite social media, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. Can you do it on Pinterest? I think you can. I don't know. My next video, I'll be adding a chamfer to all these edges right here. This right here, you see that joint? Can you see it? You can't because of the chamfer. The chamfer hides all my mistakes that I made on the door. It's a brilliant idea that I did. I really screwed up on this one. I'll show you that in the Q&A. When I do the Q&A video, I will highlight all my catastrophic mistakes that I made. That's definitely the biggest one right here. Biggest mistake on the whole project. Thanks for watching, guys.